Hi. So my name is Mel Kay, and welcome to my channel. I decided to start talking about narcissistic abuse, so I guess other people can hopefully gain some perspective from some of my experiences and hopefully make some better choices than I have with the information at hand. So basically, I wanted to describe the process of a narcissist and how they break you down and how they basically get you to a point where you're self-destructing. Um, I have had the joy of encountering more than one of these types of people, and the thing that is almost eerie with narcs is the fact that the patterns are all the same. It's like reading the same book, and that's one way you can kind of pick them out a little bit is because often they'll do a lot of the same things, and you can see that pattern recurring over and over again. So generally what happens is they will pull you in with what they call love bombing. So when you first meet this person, they'll probably be very charismatic and very charming, and they'll paint an image of who they are as being the most amazing person, what you've been looking for in your life, They'll find out things about you. They'll sit with you for hours and make sure that they just listen, to everything you have to say, and you'll feel really heard at the start, and you'll feel like you've probably come in contact with a soulmate or someone who is, that person that you can really rely on and someone you've been looking for, in your life, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a partner, or whatever it is, Once they have you hooked in that place where you clearly trust them, things start to shift a little bit. Generally around about the 3-month point, if you're in a romantic relationship, watch out for shifts of sort of personality, of the mask dropping, because when they get comfortable is when the abuse starts to happen. So when they know that you're hooked, when they think that you can't leave or that you're dependent, that's the thing, they'll get you dependent on them, like water, like a drug, like food, they will prep you and groom you to need their validation in your life, which is really scary, because if you're unaware of that kind of personality type, you can just get sucked in, not sure why it turns so bad so suddenly. It's because it was all an act to sort of get you under control. So mainly the first thing, and mainly the only thing that narcs really care about, is control. So if you're a good little sheep and you go along with whatever they want and you do what they want and you comply, you probably won't run into as many problems. And if they do have issues, they will take them out on you. But if you just allow them to control you, they tend to see you as more of like an extension of their own self. So if you allow the control, if they like to see you as a part of them, and they like themselves, and so you're in on the inner circle, so you don't get abused so much. The moment that you have your own opinion and you decide, no, I'm done with this, I'm going to be me, and if you don't like it, tough Becky's. That's when they have a problem. Oh man. So then devaluation starts. So you say you disagree about something, and they find that they can't control you. They've tried and they've realized that you aren't one to fall under their manipulation. They will start to pick at you, everything, devalue you, put you down, make you feel like nothing, try and stomp you down to a point where you are controllable. And then when they've done that for as long as they find fun, they will discard you like your yesterdays are breakfast. And that's where a lot of people go into withdrawal, because they've kind of got you on this reward system. So it's like you do what they want, they'll give you a piece of love. It's very conditional. It's really screwed up. But yeah, so once they've discarded you, you'll probably be in a low point. You'll probably be in a point where you feel very dependent on them and you feel completely lost, because they've almost stripped away your personality and replaced it with theirs, because you've not even been allowed to have a voice in the relationship or in a friendship or whatever. You've not been allowed to do that. So the moment they discard you, and they'll generally give you the silent treatment after discard for however long they feel it's worth it. When they're doing that, you're in this place where you can't really remember who you were before it. You're kind of a bit lost. And oftentimes, if people don't know about narc abuse, they will grovel, they'll beg, they'll go back to their abuser, they'll just to get that pain to stop, because they're so dependent and so addicted to that high of that little bit of love and that little bit of breadcrumbs of good girl, you did good, yeah. And that's what you've been living off for so long, you can't even remember what it was like before, when you were validated and you were lifted by yourself and you were happy, And sometimes you need a big support system for you to be able to sort of really recognize that you were, and you were independent and good and full, and like you don't need this toxic human in your life. Yeah, so after discard though, it's not normally over. Well, it's in a sense it is, because they're looking for new sources of supply, for new people to like sponge off and new people to make them feel good about themselves, because it's really all about them. And the moment you stop making them feel good about themselves and you actually pull them up on their bullshit, they will often discard you, So yeah, once they've done that, what will generally happen is either you reach out to them and they'll generally give you the cold shoulder or make you feel even more shit about yourself, reinforcing that trauma bond. But after a while, often they'll do what we call a hoover. And a hoover is where they sort of check in just to see if they've still got their hooks in you. So say it's been a week, a month, a year, whatever. They're probably bored, they don't have much else going on. So what they'll do is they sort of knock on the door to see if anyone's home. Now, with narcissistic people, the best course of action is probably to go no contact, which is really gut-wrenching, because it's like, I guess, quitting. It's like quitting a drug. So you go into rehab, you can get completely clean. If you get a dose of the drug back in your system, you're actually going to be fighting harder to get rid of that. So if you can go cold turkey, you cut them out and you can block them, the pain will hurt for a while, but it will probably clear up quicker than if you have that reinforced contact with them. Now, what happens after a little while, like they haven't heard from you, they're like, oh, that person might be getting on with their lives. So they'll knock on the door to see if there's any supply there. So they'll just ask maybe a question, or just say hi, or then there's it's called hoovering. So they suck you back into the abusive dynamic until they have power, and then they'll drop you like you're nothing again, just to make them feel like they're significant in this world, because inside and beneath every shit thing that they have this broken and abused soul that is just insecure and crying out for the love of God or for some sort of validation in the world. And instead of actually going to therapy and trying to sort that shit out, they do that by hurting other people. So like that saying, hurt people, but some people are born with a psychological disorder where they don't really seem to see outside of themselves and they have no empathy. And that's the sort of chronic narcissist that's almost worse, because yeah, narcissism can be born out of trauma, in which case you just need some help and then you generally get back to a normal, regulated form of being. But if it is out of your personality and legitimately what you've been growing up, generally they don't change. So the best thing you can do with someone like that is just get out of their lives, cut them out, and move on with your life to places where people actually value your existence and value you for who you are, not for who they want you to be or who they expect you to become. Um, so, yeah, that's a bit on narcissism. I'll be doing some more videos on handling a few of those things and hopefully getting to a place where you start to have a bit more clarity. Like there's things like cognitive dissonance and gaslighting and just so many manipulative kind of parts of narcissistic abuse that when you become aware of it, it's almost scary because you can see it so clearly. But I think it's about getting out of that fog of being completely brainwashed by your abuser and getting to a place where you have that clarity, where you can actually sit in your own space and your peace and know who you are in spite of it. I hope you all are going okay, and we'll talk very soon. Thank you.